I'm sitting here reflecting on the full circle moment that happened today when I went back to the hospital that used to be my home, away from home, for the first time as an actual employee of that hospital, of that organization, that healthcare organization. And if I must be really transparent, I was not triggered. I thought I probably would have become triggered, but I was not. Instead, I was overwhelmed with enormous emotions because I realized that my memories of being there are reasons to celebrate life today, because it could have been another way. I didn't take it for granted that I was there wearing an employee badge and not a patient wrist badge. And so I just had to pause to just give God thanks publicly again for choosing to spare my life, choosing to give me a second chance at life, especially sitting beside someone in our meeting who shared about a loved one who did not get a second chance at life. I want to encourage you that as you go through your journeys in life, your health challenges, your financial difficulties, your marital relationship issues, whatever it is that you're going through in your life, trust God's plan and God's process and the pathway that He chooses to bring forth His purpose. My experience taught me that not everything that comes into our lives that is difficult and devastating is actually going to turn out to be a bad thing. When I see 7 years later what the Lord is doing in my life, I can't even take credit for it. I just recognize His sovereignty and remain grateful that He chose to keep me alive for such a time as this, because now I get to go into healthcare facilities every day, providing care, emotional care, practical care, spiritual care to doctors and their teams. For me, this is this full circle moment where we get to see God's hand at work, because what seemed like it was going to be the end actually turned out to be the opposite to the very beginning. And I do not take that for granted. I give God praise, I give God glory. And I just want to encourage you today that whatever it is, and I mean whatever it is that you are currently going through, especially if you're a praying person, trust God's plan, trust the process, trust the pathway, trust God's purpose, because it could turn out to be destiny in disguise.